Hello and namaste to you all. I'd like to welcome all the students once again to this English session addressing to the students from grade 4. I'd like to deal with the next topic today, that is punctuation. Punctuation means the different types of marks that is used in terms of our language, in terms when we are writing, that gives the different meaning. The use of punctuation shows the impression in our writing language. So today, basically focusing to the punctuation remarks, we have capital letter, how do we use capital letter, and beside that we also go through the use of full stop, where do we use it, and we also go through the use of question mark, and beside that some different information regarding the use of comma also will be explored in today's session. So dear children, beside that, in the beginning phase of our discussion, today we will also be going for the revision of our last class. We have completed the grammatical portion, that is adjective, in our last class, and today we will be going for one of the very short exercise related to it, just to refresh our mind, refresh our knowledge. Then assignment also will be given to you. I know you all the students are very good in your work, so that assignment I'll be providing to you and you will practice a lot related to today's session. If you are ready with your stationery materials, then let me go to the exercise at first related to our last session, that is adjective. I'll be providing you one of the paragraph where we need to discuss and we need to find out the different adjectives. We'll not go through the types of adjectives today because it may take a long period. But we will just be finding the adjective in the paragraph so that we will be refreshing our mind and knowledge too. Okay, get ready and see at the TV screen. The paragraph is presented there for all of you. Let me go to the first instruction. What is the instructions given to you? That is, read the passage below and circle the adjective. You do have to write the paragraph and you do have to encircle the adjective used there. But I'll just be going to find out along with you, not single me. Along with you, I will be trying to find out what are the different adjectives used there. Okay, let me go to the paragraph. There is a vast world. There is a vast world. Remember children, in our session of adjective, I have said you that the adjectives are describing words. They are generally used in place of, in front of nouns or the naming word. So here in the sentence, we could get world as the naming word and the word which is used to describe the world in terms of quality, that is the word vast. So we can encircle the word vast if you are writing in your notebook. The next sentence goes along with it. There are many kinds of things. Many kinds of things. Remember children, quantitative adjective consists of some words. They are several, many, or sometimes the number also can be used there. So here in this sentence, many can be taken as the adjective, so you can hurriedly encircle it. The next sentence, the colorful birds. The colorful birds and flowers create beauty of nature. Flowers and birds, they are the common name. And beside that, the word which is used to describe the common noun, is colorful. So we can take colorful as the adjective in this sentence. The next one is there. Some people are black and some people are white, or some are white. Color is also one of the descriptions of the naming word. We have discussed it. So we can say some people, some, along with many. Some is also adjective, and then after some people are black. Black is also adjective, and some are white. Then obviously if the color black is adjective, then white is also adjective. So now going to the next sentence, we have some are tall and some are short. In terms of height, some are tall, some are short. Some obviously is the adjective used in the sentence. Beside that, tall and short are also two different adjectives used, so that you can encircle those all the words. And the next one is there, but they all are equal in the eyes of Supreme God. God, the naming word, common name. So, describing God with the use of supreme. So, we can easily find out supreme as the adjective. So, this is the way how can we find out the adjective in the different sentences. Now going towards our topic of punctuation today, I have already said to you all that in terms of punctuation, today we are exploring what's the use of capital letter, what's the use of full stop, what's the use of question mark, and what's the use of comma. So going towards the first subtopic, the use of capital letter. There is no any doubt in among the students that the capital letters are generally used in the beginning of the sentence. Okay, you can see in your TV screen too the first rules. It's the first rule of how do we use capital letter and where do we use capital letter. Beside that, don't be confused children. Some of the example I'll be providing after the completion of all these punctuation mark however we did today. So beside that, we will be finding some of the rules earlier. Is it fine? Okay, so I have already said to you, you can see on your TV screen as well, I have said that capital letters, we use capital letter to start a sentence. Remember, there is one more reminder to you. Remember, there are no exceptions to this rule. There isn't anything. If we do not use capital letter in the beginning of the sentence, then there is not any use. The sentence would not be correct enough. You can see everywhere. You can try to tally in your books, you can try to tally in your notebooks, or any kinds of references you can see there, the starting letter is always capital. The next one is there, the children, it's the use of capital letter, the rule number 2. It's in rule number 2, we use a capital letter after a full stop, a question mark, and an exclamatory mark. Then this means that after full stop you always use a capital letter. Whenever you complete one of the sentence, then obviously you will give a black dot, or that's also called full stop. We'll be discussing about full stop later on, but after full stop you must have to use the another sentence starting with capital letter. So here you have the next one, it's in rule number 3, the use of capital letter. How where do we use capital letter? Rule number 3. In rule number 3, you can find out you should always use a capital letter to start proper or special noun. That is very common. It may not be given on your TV screen, but you must have to know if you are writing your name. For example, your name is Suyog. If you write your name Suyog, spelling with S-U-Y-O-Z, then S always is written in capital. There is no any doubt. Knowingly, unknowingly, everyone writes the capital U's. So that's what we use capital letter in proper noun, the starting letter. But in common noun, we do not use the capital letter. We can either use a smaller, sometimes if the common noun is the starting word or starting naming word or subject in a sentence, then only we use capital. Now the next one rule is there. I have expressed 3 different rules, but 2 and 3 combinedly was called or compiled in the same. Now we will be going for another rule, that is how do we use the capital letter. It's we use capital letter to the title of any topic or any subject matter or any writing. Like for example, if you have seen the story in your book or a poem in your book. For example, if I say the title of the story, A Thirsty Crow, then what do you have to use there is O obviously should be capital A, and thirsty, T should be capital, and crow, C should be capital. But in terms, if we use conjunction, preposition and the article, we don't have to use capital letter for the beginning. But other words should start with capital letter. Is it fine to all the dear children? You can see in your slide the rules about how do we use the capital letter. These are the rules to be applied when we are using capital, but there are so many rules, so many ways where and how do we use capital, but right now we will be exploring this much of rules today, and in the remaining other rules we will be discussing in the other different classes. Now the next one I also have said to you, that is the use of full stop. There is no any doubt what full stop means. Full stop. The name itself says that there is something completed. It's full stop. So now let us try to explore. Where do we use full stop or how do we use full stop? Please try to make a note on it too, because it's very important for each and every student to write the letters or to write the writings, some of the writings in correct order. So is it fine? Now let's move on to the TV screen for your another rules. How do we use full stop? It's the use of full stop. The first one, you can see there, we use a full stop at the end of the statement. Generally when we complete our sentence, if I say I am a teacher, if I say I am a teacher, then after the completion of the teacher, we have to write full stop. I am not a dancer. I am not a dancer. There also must be full stop, because though they have different nature, the sentence are with different nature. One is in positive, the next one is in negative, but both of them are sentence. So that we have to write full stop after the completion. Either you write I am a teacher, then also full stop. After completing, that is full stop. The sentence is finished. I am not a dancer, that also should be ended with the use of full stop. So now dear children, we are going to the next one. How do we use the full stop, or where do we use full stop? That is, we use a full stop at the end of the imperative sentence. If I say you, if I command some of the things to you to be done, go and bring your notebooks. Go and bring your notebooks. That's the command given to you. So, after the completion of that command, we must write full stop. That is what we call imperative sentence. At the end of imperative sentence, we need to use full stop. Is it fine, dear children? Okay, now the next one. We use a full stop in website and email address. You may have got the website of your school. You may have got the email address of your friends. You also may be using some email address or Gmail address to use the different applications in your mobile or laptop. So when we get that email address or website, we must use the full stop. That is what we can say. The email address and the website should be completed with the use of full stop, but somewhere in website and in email address, even in the middle also, we use to get the full stop. Like if the website is there, www.radionepal.gov.np. That dot means full stop. So, in such a way, we use full stop in the website and email address. The next one is there. We use a full stop in some short forms and names. Like, let me clarify it. When we write the name of the months in our format, or when we are trying to complete our work in our notebook, at the time we must have to write the date and day. At the time when we are writing the name of the months, some of the months' name are very longer to be written. So at that time we just write, like for example, we just write September with SEPT. And then we use full stop there. So dear children, this is the way how we use full stop. Now we are going to the next one. It's question mark. You can see in your TV screen too. How do we use the question mark? Or where do we use question mark? There is no any doubt among any of the children. That is, question marks are generally used when we ask something to get respond. If I say you, are you ready to learn? Then there must be a big question mark, because I am asking to you that you need to respond to me. Have you brought your notebooks and books today? Okay, there also it's question mark. Is it fine to all? Okay, now dear children, we are going to another one more punctuation mark. It's called comma. This may be a bit new for some of us, but we have been using it regularly. The word itself may not be known, but at the time of using, we are familiar to comma. So now let's see on your TV screen, that is where do we use comma. Okay, today I am just going to provide you a single rule. How do we use comma, or where do we use comma? That is, we use commas to separate words and words group in a simple series of 3 or more items. Like, if I take the name of some students, those who are very naughty, then what could I say? Do you know? Ram, and then the use of comma. Please check the use of comma along with the sign, what it looks like. Ram, comma, Sam, comma, Hari, and Gita. All of them are very naughty in class. See, the sentence gives the sense, but we also have used comma to separate the naming words, because we have written the group of names, those who are naughty, and including the name of them, we must have to use comma there. And other different rules are also there. We'll be exploring it in our further classes. Now, combinedly, let us go to some of the sentence. Where have we used capital letter? Where have we used full stop? Where have we used question mark? And where do we need to use comma? You can see on the screen as well. The first sentence is given there. It's your work to find out yourself. It's your work to find out yourself. That is the first sentence. I go shopping every day. The beginning letters I capital. Then after the completion of sentence, that is I go shopping every day, then the full stop is given there. That is what we talked earlier about the rules of full stop and capital. The next one is there. The next sentence, you can see, leave me alone. I just commanded, leave me alone. You don't have to disturb me. The use of capital letter is no doubt, because the beginning letter always should be capital. But after the completion of the imperative sentence, the command leave me alone, there is full stop. The next one is there. This is not the new website to you. The use of full stop is there. It's www.radionepal.gov.np. The word where I say dot, that is what we call full stop. Dot, full stop. The next one is there, CDO. That's the short form, where we talked about the use of short form along with the full stop, C.D.O. The next one is there, September is written very shortly, including full stop there, that is SEPT and full stop. That means we have to understand it's the short form of September. The next one is there, the use of question mark also we have talked with one of the rules, including the questions or interrogative sentence. Did they work hard? The next one we can go through again the interrogative sentence. Interrogative sentence are of two types. The first one is yes/no questions and the next one is WS questions. So, the next sentence we have WS question, where is your friend's house? Again, you can find out the use of capital letter, use of question mark, and in the next sentence, you can go to explore the use of comma. That is the last punctuation of today's session. There are goats, sheep and cow in the field. So, here in this way, we can use the different punctuation mark, the different marks to be used at the time when we have to write. Hope all the students enjoyed today's classroom and expecting your continuous practice in this lesson, I would like to wrap up today's class. Thank you so much.